the story on it basically is this was a converted commercial unit. So this is built as a commercial unit.
Okay.
And then I guess early last year the complex decided to buy these 9 units, and then they in this one they messed up the floor plan and accidentally built it 200 square feet bigger than the other 8.
Okay.
So I got word of that, and then I leased a 1-bedroom in March of last year and just held out until this was done, and then I transferred my lease right over and snagged it. But yeah, I'm like, God dang, like, because I mean, I would love to just live in a commercial unit, but then there's laws against that and whatever. Yeah. But you can operate this out of your home, so it kind of worked out freaking great.
Yeah, it's good. It's cool.
It's cool.
I saw the kitchen. I'm like,
yeah,
lives here.
Exactly right.
Not trying to get too nosy, but shoot.
No, I do. I do. So my bed is I kind of got it well hidden, but it's I sleep behind those dividers there. So that's my bedroom.
All your music.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of producing.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the back burner right now. So, yeah, so you want to start off in here. I just emailed you a form. Yeah, so got it?
Yeah, I'm done answering the question, but then it just says, session objective form, that's the second one here.
That's the one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to click on that one too, that'd be awesome. I was filming my golf school yesterday, so here's how this guy works. Perfect. So basically, he wants to live in that white box,
Okay.
and it's something like that. And then the light will turn green. It always takes like 4 or 5 seconds. But go ahead and make some practice swings first, and just warm up. And yeah, you're not going to hit it. It's because the swing kind of goes around your back, right? So that's directly overhead. Dang, dude.
See, like my whole thing is too, I don't even know like foot placement or any of that.
We'll go over all that. Holy crap, Zach. Come on, dude. That's crazy. Whoa. Came right back at you. That's crazy. That first shot was beautiful, dude.
Yeah, it felt good.
170 yard 9-iron right on your target. That's wild. Great job. Go ahead and make another practice. We can go through a process. Move the ball 1 more inch towards you there. Yeah, there you go.
It green for a little bit.
Yeah, you want it in the white box. It's kind of a annoying graphic.
Oh shit.
You're fine. It just takes a second. This is the first iteration of the launch box that True Golf made. So, dude, that's a nice swing. Come on.
Oh yeah, that swing soft.
No, we want you hitting it hard. I don't know why I didn't pick that one up. That's okay. That was a nice shot. All right, man. Yeah, hit one more if you're feeling it. But wow. Really good, dude.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Okay. Yep. Okay. This is your interesting case, honestly, because your swing is like infinitely better than your swing. So I raised it off the board, but there's the 4 stages of learning. Okay, there's unconscious incompetence, which is that you don't know that you don't know, right? Cannot help anyone there. Then when they come to see me, they realize, hey, there's something missing in my understanding. That's when you become consciously incompetent. That's a great place to be, because then you're able to start the learning process, okay? Where you're actually already at is the 4th stage of learning, which is you are actually way more subconsciously competent than you could possibly imagine. You have a pretty nice golf swing, to be quite honest. Like, it's way better than you might imagine. Problem is, it's not consciously competent.
Yeah.
Right? So then when you get to thinking, based on your thoughts and some of the things that you're thinking about, it gets worse.
Yep.
Because your level of understanding is not matching actually what you're due on your good swings. Your good swings are way more in line with the physics than you might imagine. That first swing was pretty nice. So what we want to do is, so I don't fix anybody's swing. A lot of what we're going to do together is make you really consciously competent and understand how on your good swings, you're actually in alignment with physics. And then you'll see that, and then you can just choose to repeat your good swings more often and let go of some of those ideas that are on your back. So let's have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. So first 2 sessions, it's a lot of lecturing.
Okay.
To be quite honest, you'll hit a couple shots per lesson. As we go, that changes quickly, and then I become more of a golf coach. What I never become is a golf instructor,
Okay.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's do this, do this, do this. Okay. So, all right, let's. I already kind of began the story a little bit, which is you have a conscious mind, which is thinking, and you have the subconscious body. The subconscious is very good at responding. It doesn't initiate the process, it responds to the input, okay? So the main way that that plays out in golf is our job as a golfer is to swing the club, and the club creates energy as we swings, and then the body is going to respond to the energy of the club. So you do not have to coordinate the movements of the body to the movement of the club. You just have to learn how to swing the club and be relaxed enough that the body should respond. You already do this in everything else. It's no different. You step and you throw a ball. No one is throwing the pitch with their left foot, but magically it always happens.
Yeah.
Right? If I throw it hard, I'm going to take a big step. Throw it soft, I'm going to take a small step. That's just the prime directive of the subconscious that says, hey, you know, life's not so good if we're falling over. We got to stay in balance. Okay? And so that's really the reason the body moves. It moves to facilitate the movement of the club, and it moves subconsciously to keep us in balance. And that's what you see when you see a golf swing. Part of the issue, and you know, it doesn't sound like, well, you've seen pictures of a golf swing sequence in Golf Digest or something like that, right? You know, so you've been around it enough. The pictures of the golf swing, I could stop it at, you know, any point in time or whatever. That is a result of that dynamic interplay between the conscious and the subconscious mind. Our job is not to put the club in those positions. Our job is to execute the swing of the club that creates the dynamic interplay, and then it just so happens that you get those positions. But the positions are not the pursuit. And that's very important. So golfers that have really, really, really studied the swing, I mean, like, I'm always saying, lose the pictures. Okay? That's kind of macro concept number 3. Golf is a dynamic swing. But now, that's all pretty. So the thing that's going to move the needle on your form is, I'm going to tell this story. So one is that, and this is going to be probably the main psychological hurdle to overcome, which is that a fundamental pursuit of distance and power and speed will create accuracy.
Okay.
A pursuit of accuracy will not create accuracy or distance. So we actually want to learn to swing for speed.
Okay.
And swing for speed in the way that it is in alignment with physics and how this whole thing works. And that is the main misunderstanding that almost everybody has. Partly because of the golf landscape right now, and partly because it's slightly counterintuitive. Meaning the logical mind will assume something that's other than reality. But it's not complicated. So that's the main thing. You're good.
I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, not at all, man. Not at all.
You're good. Sorry.
No, you're good. So that's the main thing that I think is going to really make an immediate difference right now, before we even get into the fundamentals. Because the fundamentals are, well, so what is the golf swing? Okay? The golf swing is the same. They're all pendulum. Pendulum swings. The only swing that exists in nature. In our case, with the golf swing, we're going for power, okay? Putting, that would be a single pendulum motion, more or less, right? Single pendulum.
Yeah.
But if we want to create more speed, we can add a second arm to the pendulum. It's a double pendulum. Boom, boom. Then we can go like this and create a double pendulum. And that's really what a golf swing is. It's just a basic double pendulum motion. There's no real trick to that. So now that we're seeing that, we need to start to identify the power source. Okay? The power source in golf is really simple. It's the club head speed. How fast is this club head traveling at the time it hits the ball? Okay, you already know that. Question is, what is the main producer of that speed? So the main producer of the speed is the thing that is primarily responsible for moving the club and creating this double pendulum motion. Okay? And this is where the main misunderstanding lies. You also said something in the form exertion. There is a moment where you can put some energy into the club, basically put the hit into it. Okay? Exertion, to me, usually speaks to the big muscles. Okay, force. If I'm pushing a big object, got to push the car out of the ditch kind of thing, moving weight. That's exertion. Okay, but if you think about those activities, right, they're not fast, right? They're slow. Okay, but then you look at something that is fast, like throwing a punch, swinging a bat. It's like a burst of speed, right? But there's not a continuous exertion through the motion. You see what I mean? So there is an effort that's applied, right? It's not just, swing totally as easy as possible. I want you hitting the ball hard, actually.
Okay.
I hit every shot as hard as I can. Literally.
Yeah, because everyone's always like, oh, maybe slow down a little bit.
No. Well, so that's tempo and rhythm, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. That doesn't need to be addressed right away, but it is a subject, right? How does the swing work through space and time? That's really interesting. But yeah, you want it's called ball striking. You want to strike the ball, and if you do that in a fundamental way, it's actually pretty effortless, even though you are hitting hard, and the result looks really smooth. So that's where, they see the pictures, right? They look at Freddie Couples, and they're like, man, that guy swings so easy, but he hits the ball so far. But then you go interview Freddie Couples, and he's like, yeah, I actually hit every shot as hard as I can. It just doesn't look like I'm doing that. And that's the physics.
It's smooth.
Because he's in sequence, he's applying the force at the right time, he's letting it go, he's got no resistance to that, right? And he's in rhythm, he's relaxed, and so it ends up looking smooth. In reality, he's whacking the piss out of it.
Yep.
So swing easy is something that gets thrown around a lot, and it's actually not really helpful. Okay, so the primary mover of the club. And so what you said is torso. But before I get to torso, I'm just going to walk you through everything real quick. Just tell you a little story. So, because in golf, you get a lot of stuff now. You get one of the main things that's really like a modern thing is you hear this phrase on YouTube, power comes from the ground. Okay. Well, the ground is an inanimate object, right? Like the ground has no potential to move my golf club.
No.
It's not going to move my golf club for me. They talk about ground forces. The proper term for that is ground reaction forces. So then they're always telling you to practice the ground reaction forces, but how can you practice a reaction? You can pursue the action that leads to the reaction, but so it's kind of crazy. Re is a prefix that means again. How are you going to do the again? So anyway, and then we have the legs, okay, which the legs are the stepping and the throwing in the golf. That's the pivot, the hips, right? So the stepping and the throwing in baseball, that's not the power source. It's the arm, right? The stepping bit and all that happens so that your arm doesn't take you down to the ground when you gun it. Okay, same thing in golf. So the legs are not the power source, they're a balance. And the legs, I can turn my hips all dang day and I can barely move the club.
Yeah.
Okay? Then we get into the torso, which definitely has a greater potential to move the club than the legs or the ground. But if I were to keep my arms perfectly stiff, it literally can't, I'm still not making a golf swing that way.
20%.
No, if that.
Yeah.
If that, exactly. Actually, that's a great point. So the body rotating passively has the ability to contribute only 10 to 15% of the power in the golf swing. If it's not in sequence, which you'll learn in fundamental number 1, it will slow the club down. You'll hit it less far.
Okay.
Okay, so the power source is the thing that creates the double pendulum, and that is clearly the hands and the arms swinging the golf club. So we swing the golf club in a double pendulum way with our hands and our arms, and just doing that, it moves us.
Yeah.
It's going to. You know, you're swinging it, making a backswing, it's going to pull you over here. You bring it back to the ball, and it's going to pull you right back around. And so 85 to 90% of the speed is produced by the hands and arms making this double pendulum motion. Now the difference between a single pendulum and a double pendulum is really huge. Out of that 85 to 90%, 73% is when we go to the double pendulum. So 73% is letting these hands go and letting this double pendulum occur freely in the wrist joint as we're swinging the arms. Okay? So that is how you make a golf swing.
It's kind of like baseball, right? Because it's you coming down, but then you break your wrist, right? And that's where a lot of your power comes from.
Correct. And that's gonna be something to suss out, because that is gonna be about fundamental number 2. So I already alluded to that. We might even get to that today. You know, we'll see. I'm probably gonna have you come up and swing a little bit just on what I just said, and then you're gonna kind of create. You're gonna think about what I just said. You're gonna come up here, take some swings, and start to creatively apply it. You know, in your case, probably what you're gonna find is like a feeling that's somewhat familiar, because what you were just doing was swinging the club with your hands and your arms. Actually, you weren't moving it with your torso all about, which is what I might have thought to see. Because normally if someone says torso, I'm going to see a guy swinging more like that.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? You weren't doing that. You were actually swinging the club, which is why you actually got a pretty good result right off the bat. It's pretty cool. Main thing with baseball that I hear a lot from baseball players, I didn't go very far in baseball, you know what I mean? And I didn't learn a lot about it. Right, so I'm definitely not speaking from any type of experience or expertise, but I get a lot of baseball players that sort of come in with the handle like this.
Drop your shoulder.
And drop your shoulder, okay? So, this is kind of worth noting. So in golf, if I'm doing that, club face is wide open, right? And so there's your slice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So in golf, we want to create the double pendulum. We got to release the double pendulum basically back to where it started. Create the angle, release the angle, the club face squares, and then this club face got to go on its way. We'll get a little bit more into that if we have to, as we need, okay? But in baseball, we're leading with the bat. In golf, we're swinging the club head. To me, and I want to do a deeper study on this, to me, a great baseball player that to me looks like he has more of a golf swing, because I'm so curious about this, because to me it looks like some of the classic hitters were more like that in baseball. Babe Ruth, Ken Griffey Jr. You know, Ken Griffey's he's like that, which is like a golf swing. You know, and then you got the kind of the check, you know, the get on base hitters, and they're more here.
Just trying to make contact.
Contact hitters. So you want to be more like a power swinger in baseball. You see what I mean? Cool. Okay, that's what I wanted to share with you in this round. Let's go ahead and grab your club. And so what you want to do now is consciously communicate what resonated with you to yourself. So, basically, I'm going to choose to swing with the hands and the arms. I'm going to try to create all my speed with the hands and the arms and make this basic double pendulum-like motion. And this is new. So, new experiences, you just want to play around with it. You're not going for a particular result. We don't know what's about to happen. You want to play around with what I said and integrate that and see what comes about.
Okay.
Good. Make a couple practice swings before you go up there for a new one. You're good. There he is. Wow. Dude, that's some serious speed. Really good, dude. Okay. Yeah. Wow, Zach. Hell yeah, dude. That was awesome.
There she was. Felt that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's on. That's all I can think. It's on the hips.
It's all on the hips, exactly right. I know, it's all on the hips. Lo and behold, it's all in the hands and the arms. Dang it, Adam Sandler. Really good, Zach. Really good. Okay. Hit a couple more. We're not gonna switch just yet. I want to keep you up there a little longer. So you're already doing a pretty good job of this, it seems. I feel like I'm going to be saying this a lot with you, which is kind of cool. So the golf ball. Okay, I'll give you a powerful principle number one. So your conscious mind, your visual system, disengages 220 milliseconds before impact. Your downswing takes not much more than that, 300 milliseconds ish.
Okay.
So you've never seen the golf ball leave the club face, nor has anybody else.
Yeah.
Right? So impact is created by the subconscious mind, which has the ability to make changes up to 8 milliseconds before impact. Okay? So while you're swinging and you make those wonderful practice swings that you're making, you try to integrate that, your job is then to bring that same level of thought and the same level of attention to the golf club, even when the ball is present.
Okay.
Okay, so energy flows where attention goes. And so we can't move the golf ball without moving the club.
Yeah.
So we want all of our attention in the club.
Okay. Club, not the ball then.
100%.
Okay.
As best you can. You know, the ball tries to volley for your attention, which is one of the two main primary causes why a golfer will make a wonderful practice swing and then it doesn't go quite the same at the ball. The other reason is an object-oriented swing is trying to literally access it from a different brain region. It goes from the prefrontal cortex to the cerebellum, and that takes shape over just a little bit of time, hitting some balls and getting a couple good nights sleep. The brain rewires itself. So that's no big deal. So that's the integration part. But I digress. Mind in the club, always. The only thing we're ever going to do with the body is make it relax.
Okay.
Everything else is about the club. There you go. Yes. You got it. Yeah, there you go. Good thinking. Hell yeah, dude. Okay.
I focus on my arms.
Yeah, exactly. Focus on the hands and arms, making a double pendulum motion. Okay, good. So go ahead and stay up there and just show me a double pendulum motion. There you go. There you go. Just focus on making the double pendulum motion. Basically, there's a right angle that's formed, and then it releases, and there's another right angle that's formed. And keep the grip secure, especially in the left hand as you do this.
Okay.
Okay. And notice what are your hands and arms doing as you create that double pendulum motion. And how is that? Yeah.
I feel like it's breaking. I can feel it kind of breaking.
Yeah, and you can feel the right hand turning over the left hand. Right. Okay, very good. Very good. Very good. That's it. That's it. You feel how you have to let the face kind of do what it's going to do to the ball. You can't try to control the face. Okay? Perfect, dude. There you go. Right? That's great. That's great awareness. When you develop that level of awareness to see inside yourself, that's part of you becoming the coach. Right? I just told you where to look. You just figured all that out. Right? And you did a great job. Now go ahead and make one of those golf swings nice and smooth like this. Don't go into full power mode just now, where you go back into driving the handle of the bat forward and feel how different that felt. And those are the ones that go right. Yeah, there's your ball. There's your right ball. You feel that? It's not the same.
I'm pushing it.
Pushing it, right? And it's
Kind
not
of
as
like
smooth.
pulling the club through.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than
that.
pushing,
That's okay.
Pushing it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They would say, there you go. You're pulling it through versus just kind of, in golf they would say releasing the club head. There you go, dude. And then see how you're getting the nice brushy contact on the mat all of a sudden, right? Because now you're returning the radius of the swing, whereas this way, the club head's not ever returning back out. You see what I mean? To its destination. So this is really good. Good job with all that. Okay, yeah. So now that you felt the difference there, you'll notice when you don't do it, right? When you go back to the old pattern, which is great, because then you'll notice it and you'll be able to reintegrate, go back to this double pendulum thing. Go ahead and a couple more balls. Yeah, take some time between swing and really feel that club head release through. And yeah, the freer you can let the club head go, and the more you just let it do the thing that it wants to do, the better and straighter you're going to hit this ball.
Okay.
Those are nice. You can feel the difference in those swings.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Good. So now you know what led to that result. You may have felt that in hindsight. You may not have. That's okay. Just now that you have that level of awareness, one of those swings, you'll feel it pretty concretely because now your brain's searching for it.
Okay.
But regardless of what you do, never fix your swing. Just go back and reapply what it is that you want to do.
Pendulum.
Double pendulum and you know, what is this? We haven't developed a script yet around this, so we're not going to be fully consistent in it yet, but we're in exploratory mode. But here, actually, I want to show you one thing about this that I want you to do. So, we'll get into the grip more later as we need. Your grip's not too bad. It's actually okay. But I want this part of, this is the fulcrum point of the double pendulum, right? So as we're letting this club head go, we don't want to utilize that to let it go. We want to keep the hold on it and then see what the club can do, where it needs to go. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep that secure. Keep that secure. And that's going to really tell your hands and forearms what they need to do in the swing. Make another practice swing. Keep that secure and find the double pendulum again. There you go. Freaking awesome, dude. God dang, that's great. All right, dude. Mm-hmm. Good job, man. Way to get tapped into that. There he is. You're feeling that swing differently, are you not?
Yeah, it's just feels more natural.
Way more natural. And you
Yeah.
feel how you're in better balance all of a sudden, and yeah, all these different things are happening.
Yeah.
Good job, dude. Good job. Wow. Hit a couple if you want. Wow, dude. So that wasn't a slice. That was just a little bit of a push. But you feel the contact?
Yeah,
Pretty solid.
it was definitely solid.
Yeah.
More, it's good.
Way more
Part of the time I'll
solid.
hit it over here.
Yeah.
And I can feel it twisting.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Same swing idea. Good job, dude. You released that better. It didn't pick up, but that club squared up into the ball. Okay, man. This is cool. There you go. Very good. Very good. Hit one more, because there's just a little bit more I can show you today. Yeah, heck yeah. Yes. Yes.
I put a little more
You did.
juice on it. But
You did. Okay. Dude, way to go, man. That's a lot of fun. Go ahead and have another seat. We're gonna hammer and egg it one more time today. Cool. All right.
Can I use the restroom real quick?
Yes, you may. It's right around the right.
Right here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to share with you now fundamental number one, which is going to deepen your understanding and give yourself a chance to, tell yourself what you want to do with a little bit more clarity. Excuse me. So fundamentals are just derived from our observation of a pendulum. Just a simple observation, okay? So, you get into the world of coaching and, you're always, everybody that has a commercial, right, is like, these, learn my fundamentals. Well, then they're not fundamentals. I don't have my fundamentals. you know, this has fundamentals. And I can draw your attention to that. And that's it. Okay, so we learned that the body's subconscious. So there's all these measurements, you know, about the kinematic sequencing, you know, the sequence in which the body moves, which is great. That's all fine and good. Very interesting study. Not refuting their measurements, but it's subconscious. It just happens as a dynamic response. But there is a sequence, and the pendulum swings in a sequence as we watch it swing. We see that the primary fulcrum is rotating passively. The primary fulcrum is rotating passively. In this example, it's a single pendulum, but the same thing would apply to a double pendulum. We just added a second fulcrum point, okay, which is also rotating passively because the arms are swinging and we're letting it go, okay? But what is the sequence? So I got the string and I got the mass at the end of the string, and if we notice the club head, the mass at the end of the string is always leading. It's always traveling first. Okay? Which we already started to notice that in just what you're doing before, but now we're going to become even more consciously competent about it. Now you understand why I said swing the club head. Because we're starting our golf swing. What's the first thing that we want to set in motion? The club head.
Yeah.
The momentum of the club head takes us to the top. From here, we want to release the club head back to the ball, and the club head swings first through, and it pulls us around. Always moving the club head first in space. The problem that you get with, especially with golfers that are really involved in the pictures, is because the hips anticipate the downswing slightly, like when you step and throw. And that's where you get lag. So if the hips were anticipating it slightly, in reality, the club actually drops a little bit like this, and then it releases. Which is what happens. It's what happens in my swing, it's what happens in your swing. But that's not the cause. The cause is you swinging the club head first. If I took my body out of it, the golf swing would look like this. When I let my body respond, you know, there's a moment of lag in the change of direction before it releases through.
One more factor of human error.
Not even. There's not a lot of factor of human error because the subconscious is another word for that. The body is the nervous system, and the word that they put in front of the nervous system is the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic. Automatic. When you let the subconscious do what it's going to do, it's a dang supercomputer. It's pretty damn automatic. Your subconscious don't have a lot of human error. Right? You know, it's, you know, your heart beats, your food digests when you eat it. You know, the melatonin gets released at 9 p.m. when it's time for bed. You know, I mean, my nervous system tends to get dysregulated, which is another topic of conversation, but that's also, there's probably reasons for that, right? So when you get it back on track, it finds some, anyway, I digress. The point of what I'm saying is, it does what it needs to do based on the input that you provide.
Okay.
So your job is to provide it the correct input and provide it the correct input consistently, at will, your choice. So remaining consciously competent, even when you're playing great golf. You got this whole thing. I've told you everything that you need to know. You know, never go into, okay, I'm just going to swing now. I'm always saying, what do I have to consciously do with the golf club? And it's not simple. I mean, it's not complicated, right? It's simple like what we've already been doing, you know. I got to make a basic double pendulum with my hands and my arms. Okay. Whatever that ends up being at the end of our process, keep thinking that. It's going to keep 1 to 2 little ideas like that. Okay? So club head is leading. One more thing about the club head leading that's going to help you really release this thing and let it go. Remember, golf is played to the side of the ball. Okay? So if we make a pendulum motion to the side of the ball, well, if we make it on the croquet plane, the club face doesn't have to rotate very much to make a swing, if at all,
Yeah.
right? But we're playing golf over here. So if I make the pendulum motion, look at the club face.
It's moving.
See,
Almost
it's
180
it's
degrees.
constantly moving, right? It's constantly moving. It's never staying in a straight line. Sorry. You're fine. You're fine. So it's never staying in a straight line. Okay, and now you notice on your back to your same double pendulum concept, your good swings, you're really moving the club head first. The club is leading you through the motion. You're not using the body ahead of the club. You're using the club ahead of the body, and you're really allowing for it to be on its way. Okay, which is why back to the top. The fundamental pursuit of distance, if you notice when the fall comes passive, the club always returns.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I get involved, it doesn't always return. So as long as this is chill and passive, you're good. You let the club head be free as you make the double passive. Club head leading, now you understand what I mean by let it go, and basically go up there and keep doing what you're doing. I would just back to double pendulum with the hands and the arms, but I want you to really be conscious that the club is leading.
Okay.
And the body is passively following. See if you can integrate that.
Okay.
Start that, make some practice swing. Start the swing with the club. Club, club, club. There you go. You're just standing in the middle of it. Not resisting, but you're just along for the ride. Club, club. There you go. Yes! You feel that?
Yeah. Smooth.
You feel that? Yeah. Club, club. Excellent, dude. Excellent. So when you go to hit these balls, I want that club, club idea to be loud in your mind.
Double pendulum, club, club.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So, make a couple practice swings, and I want you to feel how the momentum of the club creates the turn on the backswing, and the momentum of the club creates the follow through. You don't have to turn or follow through. You just have to put the energy into the club and let it carry you. There you go. Swing the club to the top. There. Swing the club back. Yeah, you feel that? Good. There you go. There you go. Really initiating the backswing with the club is going to help you a lot. Because there's an old idea, right? Okay, which is we got to turn. We got to create the shoulder turn, right? You've heard this from somewhere, right? All that. Okay, the club's creating the turn for you now. So you want to learn to let go of that. And that's back to your idea of the torso creating the power, right? So your old idea is I got to turn, maybe it's I got to get behind the ball, right? You see the pictures with some of them have 90-degree or more shoulder turn, all that, right? But then there's Brooks Koepka, who hits at 350 yards like this. Tony Finau hits at 340 like this. They're not even moving. Freddie Couples does not have a 90-degree shoulder turn. He was called Boom Boom on the PGA Tour. So that's going to be, as you notice this and you go home and you're swinging the club in your backyard or something like that, that's the kind of stuff you want to start to try to, how can I see myself? Just be chill here. And as I move the club, it moves me a little bit, but I don't need to move the club and get here with it. Or worse, start with this and then the club. Yeah. So focus really on moving the club to the top is the solution. And just encourage your body to just relax. Relinquish the effort. Relinquish the exertion. Put the energy into the club. Energy over exertion. Club, club. Much better. See, you're already changing. You're already changing. Just keep telling yourself what to do. Beautiful golf swing. That was awesome.
Oh.
That's okay. Body got ahead of the club. Club, club. But notice that swing, you made a bunch of good swings. That swing that you caught the mat, that swing was on autopilot. Right? The thought wasn't allowing your mind on that swing, was it?
Just kind of.
You just swung it, right? And then your body went back to what it's used to. But all the swings where you were consciously telling yourself what to do, right? You got a new result
It's like,
out of it.
oh, it's going good. We can ease up a little bit.
So so this is human nature. So this is human nature. This is why I'm always teaching pedal down mentality. Everybody, once they have a good result, everybody backs off on what was leading to that good result on the next swing, and then they don't sustain the result. So we can know this about ourselves, and this is like really powerful because this is true not just in golf. Like I see myself doing this in everything. You know, it's like you get on a roll and
Yeah.
you know, but you got to keep the damn pedal down. You got to, you know, even when you get the good result. So hit a couple balls, integrate this, and that's kind of what I wanted to cover with you in this session.
Okay.
I think that this is a really great start. Yes! Woo! My man. Look at that, dude. That was a beautiful shot.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, dude. You can play golf like that.
Right on the money.
Club, club. There he is. Consistent thoughts lead to consistent actions. Good job, man. Good job. Go straight to the net. Okay. Wow. How about that, dude? Good deal, man. Really good. I mean, so look at those 5 balls. Look at the dispersion on them compared to where we were at the beginning. That's wild difference. Let's call it a day.
All right.
You feel good about that?
For sure.
Great job, dude.
Thanks, bud.
That's awesome. So there you go. So not slicing, but more importantly, you know what you're doing. You just coach yourself through all that, right? I didn't technically tell you what to do. You see what I mean? I just told you what it is.
Just listen to your body.
Yeah.
And- well, I mean, you did a lot, but
Yeah, well, I changed your mind. I changed your understanding. And then you latched onto it perfectly, and now you're there. So next time you go touch the club, your job is going to be to re-communicate yourself these key points of this lesson. And once you do that a couple times, it's going to really start to strengthen in your mind, and you'll keep going. There's more to the story, right? So, like, we're not done, you know, but this was a great great start. And you gotta, I mean, that's really nice, dude. Like, I mean, if that's like, you can play good golf with the swing that you were just making. To be quite honest. I mean, look, you saw the shots.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, that's nuts. So, good job, dude. You're very good, dude. You're very